Good evening, everybody. So before we start this video today, I want to try something a little new, a little different. Mostly, I wanna, rather than making just multiple different videos on all the different dramas, I want to at least make one long video, and we're gonna do this for probably till Saturday, Sunday, and let me see if you guys like a longer, more format than individual videos, because I feel like maybe like me releasing videos is a little bit too much on my end, and it would be just easier if I just release just one long video of each individual show, right, and just some of the best part, and then sort of just recapping it and talking about it rather than just my individual video. If you guys like this format more, where it's a longer, maybe an hour or more video, or maybe like anywhere between an hour to or less, tell me if you like it better than me doing a individual video. So let's see what happens.
Yo, what up?
Yo, why the fuck does Tech Protect keep calling you homophobic? I've never got that inkling from you.
This is how it all started, all right? This is literally how it all started. I was doing Cafe Saturday, and I said, I got a question for y'all. They're like, what's up? And I said, you know how Boogie and Mike kissed? And they said they're comfortable with their own sexuality, so they can do that. I said, at what point is that no longer an excuse? Like, can you full on like fuck a dude and say I'm comfortable with my own sexuality? That doesn't mean I'm gay. That's literally where that came from. And then it stemmed into this whole conversation about like, what if they were trans? And I said, well, to me, if you're looking at a body physically, not mentally, physically, you look down to a cock and balls, you have to grab the cock and balls, lift it up, and stick your dick in a hairy asshole. I think that means you kind of like dudes because you're physically looking at a man because you're lifting up cock and balls, the fucking asshole, right? That's literally where all this shit came from.
Wow, I did not expect that to come out of you.
And listen, right, I played like the character, his little finger thing, I put this in Discord. There's literally a thumbnail with me doing the finger thing and like an anime thing, and it was like a dono goal for me to do it and say like ooh woo and shit. It became a meme in Cafe that I'm the old man that yells in clouds, and that's from The Simpsons, by the way. It became a meme, so whenever people did it, they did it to fuck with me. So when Tech came in there to do it, I was fucking with him. I truly don't give a shit what they do the tits with. And someone told me it meant docking. That's what someone told me. And I'm like, well, that's disgusting. Why would anybody do that? So that kind of just became a thing.
I know. So, I kind of see you as like I grew up in the early 2000s, early 90s. Like when you got a bunch of guys together, they would say that's we're from the era of that's gay and all that. And you get around your whole bunch of friends, you're always calling you're gay, this gay, no homo pause. I've been around that culture. I get where you're coming from. You're just explaining your thoughts, and there's nothing wrong with you having your own opinion on that type of subject. For me personally,
this is what I equated it to, right? I said it's kind of like this. If there's a group of people that's talking about butter pecan ice cream, and I tell them I don't like butter pecan ice cream, but there's 15 people trying to force butter pecan ice cream down my throat and tell me that I like it, I said, would you have a problem with that? And they said, well, yeah, I don't want people to force feed me butter pecan ice cream. I'm like, well, there you go. Like, I'm an old man, bro. I'm 39. I'm a boomer. Like, there's a boomer report on Cafe that I play whenever I have a boomer moment, right? So, and this is one of those things where it's like, deep down in my core, I could give a fuck what two consenting adults do in their own spare time. It doesn't change my life one bit, not one thing. But the thing is, I don't talk about my sex life with my wife, so I don't want to hear about your sex life with your partner. I want that same respect. That's all it is. If that makes me homophobic, bro, fuck it, I'm homophobic. That's all I'm saying.
That doesn't make you homophobic. That just makes you that you're not afraid to show your opinion. Like you said, what anybody does and choose to do behind the closed bedroom door, you don't give a fuck about it. But if you ask somebody like, hey, I would not like to hear about that, I feel like you're all in your right to say that. I feel like there's nothing wrong with that, personally.
And like I said, bro, I'm not a fan of. I even said this. I don't think sex in cinema or TV adds anything to the story. Like if there's like a movie and there's like 20 minutes of fucking, what does that add to the movie? Nothing. What does that add to the story? Nothing. I don't want to see people fucking a movie.
That's why I don't watch Euphoria. That's why I don't watch Euphoria. It's just a show about like, aren't they supposed to be like teenagers too in like high school?
Yeah, but I feel like that's why they made them not like if they could have made that show take place in college, it would have made it like 10 times better than it being in high school.
Yes. Yeah. It's weird. It's really weird. And it's like these long, drawn out sex scenes. I'm like, I get it. They fucked.
Yeah.
You know?
But this is what I will say though, right? You can call me a hypocrite if you want to, but Pulp Fiction is my favorite movie. Yes, there is a rape scene, but to me it signifies Marcellus Wallace got saved from a rape, and because of that, he let Butch go because he saved him. And he said, as long as I never see you again, I'm gonna let you go because you saved me from this shit. That had relevance to it, and it wasn't like some long drawn out. It was implied for like 5 seconds. Yeah. But to just have like a dude and a chick randomly meet at a bar and then they go fuck for like 15 minutes, what does that add to the story? Nothing.
Yeah,
no,
that's just how I am, bro.
Yeah, I know you're at work and shit, but I remember back when I used to watch old James Bond movie, and it would just kind of pan over to the feet moving around, and they kind of like change the time of day, and they wake up in bed. That's normally how a sex scene would go when I was a kid, and now they're just like, we're gonna tell you what positions they were in, Yeah,
like, really, bro. Like, look, bro, do you remember like Red Shoe Diaries back in the day?
Yes.
That's literally what TV's becoming now, and I'm like, why? Why? You know what I mean? Yeah. But it is what it is. And as far as the whole me and Jaffe thing, I mean, if people want to call me an asshole and call me out, that's fine. Tech Protect wants to call me a bitch, but then praise me, that's fine too. I don't give a shit.
Can I ask you what it was about because from what I was asking, like, I was trying to like get the full story. So the statistic thing, is that what upset you, or was it the conversation around the statistic?
So here's the way I see it. Me and Jaffe are arguing about money, putting money into your own show, right?
Yeah.
He said, why don't you become a crown on your own channel if you don't, if you think it's only worth cash cows, all the pay pigs and
So we're starting this out with nerds. Now, obviously, when this is all being recorded, Monday night. Obviously, this was from Monday morning. You know what I'm trying to refer to. This original stream was from Sunday into a bit of Monday, and I was watching it here and there. There wasn't really much to talk about, but Ken kind of came up and was trying to give his side of this whole situation, really, with Jaffrey and Tech Protect. Now, the next couple of clips are going to be mostly focusing on this drama. That's why, rather than, I could have easily just made it its own separate video, but I wanted to see if this format worked. If I feel like if a drama is so massive that it requires its own separate video, we'll do that. But I think, for the most part, I'm kind of with... How can I say it? I'm kind of really with Ken on this part, and I kind of understand why he would be very upset, coming from a, as I said, he comes from a very like Mediterranean southern background. If you never interacted with like Latins or Mediterranean people or Greek people, they are very proudful people of the heritage, especially if they are of military background, right? And Ken goes into it really deeply, I believe, in this clip or the next clip. And mind you, this original thing was a little longer, if I remember carefully. I was very tired when I wasn't tired when I was recording it, but I wasn't sure if I was going to make this a little separate video. But again, I do understand why Ken is like this. Now, also a bit of a recap of this Sunday nerd stream. It was whatever. They got a lot of money. They got a lot of stuff. It was, for the most part, whatever. Really, I think most people here really wanted to know about the Ken stuff and Tech Protect. And Jaffrey was, again, we're going to talk about it throughout this whole video.
crowns won't become cash cows. And I said, well, if you were a crown on your own channel, you could have that argument. You don't pay shit towards your channel. You can't really have that argument, in my opinion, but that's beside the point. We were arguing about putting money into your own channel. And then I did not bring up my military service once in that entire fucking conversation. He knows I am. We've talked about it. But he then brought up on the show talking all this shit about me. He was like, well, I like Ken. He's a veteran, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure he did it for his country, blah, blah. Hey, Tech, by the way, I'm sure people join for financial reasons. Why don't you look up how many people do? And in my mind, I'm like, me and you were talking about money, putting it into your channel, how you think it's dumb to put money to your own channel if you're the host. You bring up my service, and then you segue into how many veterans serve for money purposes primarily. And then you did a lot of like different words in the middle to try and make yourself sound like you're not. I said Jaffe lives in a world of plausible deniability. He's a smart man. He says just enough to get his point across, but not enough to basically hold his feet to the fire, right? He has known examples with like Xylee and Tina moving the goalpost until they flip on him and say stop, and he's like, oh no, it's a joke, it's a joke. So he'll push limits until they really flip on him. They're like, no, it's a joke, don't blah blah blah, whatever. So to me, I felt like I was coming into that crosshair for him. Like he was just zoning in on me and him talking about money, then segueing to my veteran status and how many veterans serve for primarily money reasons. He said his stuff in the middle of that, but I'm just telling you where my brain went, and that's how I connected the dots. If I'm an asshole, I'm an asshole. But I just don't understand how mean you can be talking about money. You bring up my veteran service and then say how many veterans join for primarily financial reasons. I just don't understand how any other scenario could come up with those dots getting connected that way. That's how I took it.
Yeah, I get you. That makes a lot more sense now. I really appreciate you like coming on to explain that, because I feel like a lot of people were getting very confused with all that.
But here's the thing though. Tech will go on shows and call me a bitch, but he won't fucking tell Jaffe to shut the fuck up or then talking about boss man's wife. He's like, well, we don't know what's going on in me and him's DMs. Yeah, bro, you hopped on the shit and called me a bitch. Like, I don't give a damn what's going on in your DMs. You feel strongly enough to call me a bitch, but you won't tell your boss to shut the fuck up about the real boss's woman. Like, that's a double standard in my own opinion. Like, you have all these opinions about me, but when you saw your boss tanking your show, because you could see the look on his face, bro. His hands were on his face. He was just like, what the actual fuck? And then here's another thing that I thought about. Jaffe had a phone number for people to call in. He wouldn't be a member on his own channel. So he's literally negating the Discord and giving people that are not members to his own channel an outlet to speak to him. But me and him are arguing about talking to your members in the Discord. He's giving people an outlet that don't pay that money. When the Discord was created, all the other shows used a Discord to call in, but he's the only one that did not do that. He had a number for non-members, so he's promoting outside the Discord communications to where he's not paying, where other people have to pay to be in. How does that make sense?
It's definitely hypocritical. I feel like Jaffe kind of does and says stuff before and then kind of forgets he already said like rules or statements in motion. And yeah. I will say this, that Tech is on Madhouse, but Madhouse isn't his show. The Madhouse is David Jaffe and friends. And like, if Tech Protect is really like the Jamie, you know, like Rogan can't stop Jamie Jamie can't stop Rogan from saying the stupid shit that he's saying. He only can pull up the stuff and advise, you know, like if this was Tech's show, like if Tech was like a part of like fully, like Tech was what Jaffe is for Madhouse, I feel like that wouldn't happen. Just like fucking Tech said when he was there, he wouldn't have these call-ins in the fucking first place, you know?
Yeah.
Also, by the way, Tech scammed your audience because I paid $50 for him to continue and he didn't. So he scammed your audience. I just want to tell you that.
We'll have to bring him back Monday to talk more about it. He had to go have Netflix time with his girlfriend. She, to be fair, she literally donated. She literally donated. Yeah. Oh no, we're not. We got. I appreciate you coming up here.
Bro, you have red dono if you would have stayed up there and kept talking shit. I would have gave you all red dono, but you know what I mean. It is what
Bruh, Tech, if you don't
He's like, get your ass back in here right now, bro.
You could kind of see their reaction. I kind of like how Zay was very calm and collective, whereas like I could give this credit sometimes to one buff. He's very expression. You know, his face is very expression when he has to. But it is sort of true that a lot of the time Tech Protect will talk shit, but then be kind of generous, sort of this weird like reverse psychology. And Kenneth's calling it out for what it's worth. Now, I think the truth is, if this is would have just been Jaffrey versus Ken, which we'll get into when we get into it, because that actually becomes a focus point. I think it would have just been just a boomer versus a early millennial talking about a certain thing and from a certain background, but it's really more of a like I would say late millennial and early millennial, right? I know like Ken says he acts very boomerish, which is sort of true. I don't think he is. He's clearly more of an early to mid millennial, where I'm probably actually which is very fun because I'm actually probably closer to Ben. Why am I keep calling him Ben? I'm closer to Ken age actually than I am probably into Tech Protect, because I'm like a late millennial and he's more early millennial, early to mid millennial. And again, yeah, Tech Protect does go around talking shit, calling him stuff, and they'll get to it when they get to it. And I don't think Ken is some type of homophobe. I understand what he's saying. I understand what he's talking about, because a lot of guys ain't like that, right? It's different when you're really close, like, and I think it's also a bit of a generational thing when you talk like that rather than anything else, right? Honestly, when they were kind of talking about stuff like that, I was just like, come on, guys, don't do this.
Laid down, they gave birth to us, and they tried to do the best they could. Sometimes, you know, our moms are not the women that gave birth to us. You know what I mean? Sometimes moms are just those that help raise you. So either way, I hope all the moms got all the love that they needed. I spent some time with my mom, and I got her another little arrangement, whatever, what have you. It doesn't really matter. But as you guys know, I'm not here alone. I have a new awesome, beautiful, and amazing co-host, Batgirl. What is up, Batgirl? How you doing today?
Good morning. I'm doing really well. I'm so excited. I have my coffee ready.
Yay.
I am pumped. I am hyped. I'm so happy to be here.
That's awesome.
How are you doing, Ken?
I am okay. I went on Nerds last night, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. And, you know,
I missed that. Oh, God.
I got a little ramped up, you know what I mean? But that's beside the point. Let's get into some stuff.
Spicy.
A little spicy. So, review Butter USA with the 5 new video of Mike at the casino on lolcowlive Reddit. Well, Reddit is a cesspool, so, you know, it is what it is. And then we have Shinobi Ben, member for 2 months of Band World. W Batgirl needs her host job with Ken, L Tech, and Jaffe. Never liked Madhouse to begin with. Jaffe was always a huge creep, in my opinion. All right.
At times, yes.
All right, so let's get this out the way, right? Because I don't want to rush this for the end. I just want to get this out the way, right? So the original intention of the show today was to go through the entire catalog of Madhouse, and I searched for my name, Beans' name, and the mention of Cafe. I found every single piece wherever they mentioned us, right?
It's impressive.
Oh, yeah. But, you know, and then I sent it over to the docket team, and they did what they did. Shout out to Sterling, because she really did a deep dive as well. So I'm going to share the screen with you guys. I'm going to share the screen. I'm going to share the screen with you, Batgirl, as well. We need you have access to the docket, right?
Yes.
I believe you do. Okay. All right. So, guys, these are all the times from here up to here that Beans, Cafe, or myself was mentioned, right? So what we're going to do, let me do it like this. So there was a very, I'm not going to call it bipolar relationship, but there was a very, I'm not going to say toxic either. But there was a lot of ups and downs to Cafe and Madhouse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I originally liked Jaffe. He's a creator of God of War and Twisted Metal, right? I love God of War. It had a very profound, part of my childhood playing that. The cat I have, I named Kratos. Like, legit. I love God of War.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So, we have here, Jaffe says he likes Cafe in the beginning. Again, all well in there. Jaffe mentions Ken and Becky because obviously.
Now, yeah, if you're not aware, Beans. Why am I keep thinking of Ben? I have no clue why the dwarves are in my mind. Also, it's probably late, so but yes, if you're not aware, Beans is in Milkers, and we'll get to Milkers. Trust me, Milkers was a crap show, but in its particular snippet of a funny event, and nothing against Batgirl. I just didn't find her that entertaining, or she didn't bring the energy that I felt, that I felt from Beans. Right, but we'll get to it when we get to it. It is interesting how much there's like a lot of back and forth between Madhouse and Cafe, probably as much between Nerds and Cafe. It's very interesting, and I think it has to do with just how Jaffrey is as the person. Obviously, I think he is actually diagnosed with ADHD, and that could probably be it. But also probably because he likes to push the envelope with different holes, and clearly in the case of, good old Ken, I think to Jaffrey he's like kind of an easy target to kind of poke the bear. At least how I feel. But the rest of the cafe, for the most part, is your general typical cafe? Nothing really bad. Just it feels different without Beans, but at the same time, guess what? It's okay. We'll see what happens in a week or two. Because you always gotta give them a week or two to get used to the role. In my honest opinion.
Waiting. Hello. Good evening, Tech Protect.
Hello.
I haven't got you on screen yet. I just gotta fix that up. Just 1 second because I do not has what? Oh wait, hang on. Let me pop this out. They can hear you though. They just can't see you yet.
Hey, chat. How's it going? Good morning, or
Good
afternoon,
morning.
or at noon.
It's a very, very early morning here on Aussie. Hope you're enjoying that live shot of Sydney while OBS decides to behave. There we go. Boom, boom. Whoa, what are you doing at the unemployment office there? What happened?
Getting ready. You never know these days what's going to happen.
What happened?
With how things happen with the Madhouse place, it's just kind of crazy.
Even I saw what happened on Madhouse. Now, tell me what happened.
I think the audience knows.
Well, for the one person that doesn't know and might be a bit confused, why are you in the unemployment office?
Well, we're just preparing for what might happen today, this week, next week, who knows? But as the audience knows, Madhouse was canceled live on air Saturday midday, maybe afternoon. It's all a blur, to be honest. So Jaffe's no longer in the Discord. The Madhouse channel has had all their videos privated.
Oh shit, are they?
Yeah, every single one. Bunny is back in the Discord for now. Who knows what that's going to be like? I don't know if she has a host role. I don't know what she has, but she's there.
I think Bunny, in all of that, because I did watch it, I think she was more of an innocent bystander. She had no idea what the fuck was going on. Now, here's what I would do. I would move Tech Protect, bring Bunny on this show, and hear me out. Because Bunny's a clown, and Australia is the biggest clown fucking country in the world. She'd fit right in. I mean, what do you think?
I like Australia, motherfucker. You guys aren't clowns. In spirit, I own a little jar of sand from New York Beach.
Who brought that in?
The post office, dickhead? What the fuck, you want to send some guy? Yeah.
No, I thought it was a gift or something. I thought someone brought it for you. Like, you literally went online and bought sand.
Yeah, dude. I own land in every country.
Wow, of course you do, you white colonizing motherfucker.
Look at you!
Look at me. Bitch, I'm part Aboriginal. I belong. A part of me belongs to this land.
Ass. Say the word.
Now.
Yeah, exactly. Look at you, motherfucker. What the fuck is this?
I don't know how much
today?
I have, but it's somewhere between not being able to say it and being able to say it. It's like having none and being able to say it. It's somewhere in there. Like.
Why the getup? Why the fucking skater beanie, the hipster shades, the fucking like corporate sports jacket?
I'm sick of this hair, right? And it's fucking going tomorrow. I don't give a shit. This has been nearly a month that I've had this hair. It's time to go. It's going, right? So I'm just slowly weaning the audience off my hair. And this, I stole it from Eva's closet because I thought I don't have any nice clothes, and I thought I better start dressing nice for the show.
No, it's a women's suit jacket.
Yes, and you can see just how much taller she is than me. Look how fucking far down it comes.
Jesus Christ.
Someone, Lady Nerd Artist said it looks like I'm wearing my dad's clothes.
So I think for the most part, it looks like Tech Protect is still within the LCU, which it's okay. Nothing against the guy. I kind of assumed that they will want to keep him as long as they can. I think he's probably still going to be working with Jaffrey. But eventually, I think they're going to probably have him either pick a side between them or Jaffrey, and I have a feeling that obviously Tech Protect is going to pick Jaffrey because Jaffrey is probably it's going to be his future father-in-law, but at the same time, I don't think Jaffrey even gives a shit and probably gonna work a deal out. Right. Before, if anybody was wondering about whether or not Tech Protect is still within the LCO, this more or less, I think, for the most part, prove it. Unless something changes within the next couple hours or when I wake up, again, we'll have to wait and see. Right? Everything about the LCU is wait and see. Anything could happen. Anything can happen in the LCU. But we're going to get into sort of Ken actually goes. Eventually, Ken will actually pop in to Aussy to confront Tech Protect, which I think was a very good conversation, if you were asking me.
With Rastov, it just I had something going with fucking Nightmare, but you know,
It's the same color as Discord,
fucking...
so I gotta turn the filter off.
Oh, we sure?
Yeah.
Let's just get this shit out the way because I'm tired and I'm over it. All right, so first of all, I'm never gonna fight you, bro. I win nothing fighting you. I'm 6'5", 280 pounds. You're 5'6",
You win
whatever you
100%
are.
of the time. Though.
We're the same weight class.
No. Here's the problem. When you're my size and you fight people smaller than you, it's a lose-lose. Because if I beat you, I'm picking on a little guy. And then if I lose, the little guy beat my ass.
That is true.
Nothing. I literally gain nothing. So I'm never going to fight you. So let's just put that shit to bed. All right. So apparently I'm still a homophobe. Apparently I'm still...
I even said that on the stream today.
I didn't hear that. That's
I'm
honestly
talking,
news.
I'm talking about yesterday. I'm talking about yesterday.
Yeah, you made your argument on Cafe this morning. And I watched. I had you in the shower. No homo.
Wait, what?
I had you playing in the shower. Listening in, and I was like, you know, fair point. I get where he's coming from. So I was like, I'm not going to talk about that today. I understand his position.
I want you to acknowledge it that you do not think I'm homophobic. Do you truly think I'm homophobic?
No, I just think you're like more prude than like the next guy.
I'll take that. That's
yeah,
fine.
which is
That's
fair.
fine.
Yeah, totally fair.
Again, bro, I don't care. This doesn't bother me. It's a meme on Cafe.
Okay, it's not docking. I promise. It is literally just I'm a cute little guy.
That's fine. But listen though, when I asked someone on my stream, they told me it meant docking. I'm like, what the fuck is docking? And they told me. I said, why would anybody do that? Right? Because I'm the old man that yells at clouds. I'm a boomer, literally, right? I have a whole thing that I do and I'm a boomer. So whatever. Now, as far as Jaffe goes, I don't think there'll ever be a resolution to that. I still feel the way I feel about it. And I know that me, Beans, Cafe, and Madhouse has had a very up and down relationship. Madhouse is no longer here for the reason, right? It is what it is. I don't want to talk about someone and keep bringing up something where they're not here to defend themselves. That's just the type of person I am. And I wouldn't want you to speak for Jaffe because I don't want nobody speaking for me, truthfully. So like I told people on Cafe today, I said my piece. I said how my mind perceived it, and I'm not going to talk about it anymore. I'm done. After today, I'm not talking about it anymore. So, you know, I know you've made comments about me being a bitch. You've made comments about me being whatever, and hopefully we can put all that shit to bed, bro. I don't want to argue. I don't want to beef with you. It's pointless to me. But at the same time, you can't really call me a bitch when I've told you to come on my show and you wouldn't even come on my show to talk to me. And
today I was naked, and that would have been like probably not great.
Keep your camera off. I don't give a fuck. You don't have to turn your camera on in Cafe. That's a rule I have. If no one wants to show the camera, I really don't care. But I may not have known that. But
yeah, I was wondering if you'd be amicable. Maybe we don't fight because I hear the whole like the short guy thing. What if we had a cook-off on Saturday to squash the beef? Let the audience know we tried something. We have a competition. They can vote on what looks better this Saturday.
All right, I'm down for that. We'll do that.
All right. I'm gonna make a classic. I don't want to spoil it, but I'll make a Mexican dish. I don't know if you. Yeah, I don't know if you have like a cultural dish you want to make, and we'll have them judge both the dishes.
All right, I'll make something Greek. How about that?
There we go. You're here first, Aussy. Cafe Aussy cook-off happening Saturday. You can just send me details when you're available.
No Australian dishes. Yeah, we'll call it an Aussie.
Shut the fuck up. You want to show up too? Is like a little fucking participation prize? No one's gonna like your Australian dish. What is it? Fucking kangaroo on the barbie?
Nope, it's gonna be sausages.
So we'll probably need another host to like host this because Batgirl doesn't have a setup yet, and obviously I'll have to use my phone in the kitchen. So we'll just need another host to like host it. But outside that, I'm down.
Yeah, we can get that done.
Cool. All right. Well, before I go, is there any questions, comments, or anything you need clarification on, or anything?
Fuck. Let's see.
For the record.
Oh, okay. Look, there's been a lot of comments on the Reddit, and people have reached out to me because the one thing that really does upset me. I know I'm not a veteran, right? Mm-hmm. My closest friend group in high school, we were all going to join the Marine Corps. They ended up going, right? Okay. They did it. I had my knee torn out, so it was like not for me. They wouldn't take me. They joined for financial reasons. I didn't grow up wealthy, right? We grew up in a pretty poor area. One of my closest friends is no longer with us because the stress of that type of job got to him. He's gone.
I hear that. Genuinely, I hear that.
Yeah,
It's interesting to see how Tech Protect acts right? How I think for the most part, changes his mannerism. But I think it's because when you're around somebody for so long, you're going to adopt their mannerism. What I mean is obviously like with Jaffrey, and he does bad in defense Jaffrey, which he has to. He sort of has to. I think honestly, this whole conversation about the military and all that is interesting, but given the way Jaffrey is in the next clip, Tech Protect straight up just say like, Jaffrey is very anti-American and probably currently is anti-American. How, what I'm referring to. But then again, I'm gonna not say much I've already said about Jaffrey. He's just check his early life if you want my opinion about him. But jokes aside, dog whistling aside, what I'm trying to really say is that like, you can't blame a military man for getting angry when you're talking shit about the military, man. Regardless, even if you go there for money, they still have some type of loyalty or pridefulness of the military. You can't just assume they're gonna lay down to take it in the ass and they're not gonna bark or attack, right? And I think obviously for someone like Jaffrey, who, let's be real, given his political position, relies on the extension of the American empire military force. So I'm just saying, if you're going to criticize the military but not acknowledge that the military is the American empire and the military is the reason why your system is able to flourish, I just think you're just a cuckoo head or just a boomer. You have a very boomerish mindset. That's why I'm willing to bet for Ken this time around, and I actually respect the way he's handling it, because I thought it was going to be more of a shouting match. It was kind of when Tech Protect wasn't there. Let's be real.
We visit we do his thing. We go in and we check
about it.
Yeah, I love the military. I love veterans. I think it's an honorable thing to do. A lot of people on the Reddit and people have reached out to me on Discord saying it feels like Ken is downplaying the importance that joining the military is, by saying that if he's upset about any like financial backing for why he did it, it sounds like you're saying that's lesser, or that's not as good, not as important. Okay. I want you to be able to clarify if that's how you feel, because you seem to think that Jaffe's comment is shitting on why you went into the service. And I don't know if that's how you feel. I want you to be able to clear the air.
So I went on Nerds yesterday. You watched Nerds, right? I'm assuming you did.
Yeah, when you got on, I was in bed with my partner, but we're watching Netflix.
Okay, cool. All right, so when Jaffe, my feeling, when he came at me, it was about the money. For me, it wasn't about the money, right? I didn't talk about why anyone else joined. I didn't talk about what others do. I talked about me and my reason. I never mentioned once anybody else. I truly don't care why people join. If they want to join for their own reasons, they can. There is a lot of financial benefits. There's a GI Bill. There is the VA home loan program that helps a lot of people get their first home, and they wouldn't be able to do it without it, right? There's a lot of reasons to join. There's the student loan repayment program. There's a bunch of different things. I was talking about me and why I did. Now, I talked about when I went through basic and AIT and all that, I met a lot of people that were trying to get immigration, and they joined to help them speed run that. And that's fucking awesome if that's why they did it. Because if you're willing to fight and die for the country, you deserve citizenship. I firmly believe that. So I wouldn't talk about no one else but my own personal story and why I joined. I come from a very pro-military family. I've already explained this a million times. I don't need to again. But I don't care why people did, truly. I just felt Jaffe and me were talking about money. He brought up my service and then told you to look up how many people joined for financially purposes primarily. When you connect all those dots, he's talking about me and why I did. That's how I took it. So I don't want that to be expressed to anyone else. It was only talking about me and no other veterans, because I truly don't care.
Okay. Today is the day we squash it. I'm not going to bring it up anymore. Okay. I do want to say, I think there's a missing dot that should be connected. Is right before Jaffe asked me to look up the stat, Jaffe talked about why David Jaffe wouldn't join the military. Okay. Right? He said it's a scary job. He commends those that do, but the only way he would join is if someone invaded the U.S. And he's like, I would defend my family, I'd defend my home, I'd defend my community. Definitely. And then he's like, I'd be scared. And he's like, I wonder what motivates other people. And I think in his head, he was not thinking of you at all. I think in his head,
he told you to look up financial reasons primarily. He said those words to you. Can you look up what is the percentage people join financial reasons primarily? So you have to understand, we were talking about putting money into a channel. We were talking about. Go ahead.
I hear you. There's a little more additional context. Now that he's off the network, I can talk about it. Jaffe streams on his own YouTube channel, right? Yeah. He's not the most pro-American guy, right?
Oh, and I know.
He has a perspective on the U.S. military complex of taking advantage of the poor and destitute, those that don't have opportunities because of financial reasons. And he says it's kind of shitty that that's why people join. It's shitty that you find more recruiting offices in the hood than you find in the really prissy prime real estate areas of a city, right? You don't see that many recruiting offices there. He's had the for a long time that it's sad to know that's what's happening. He's like, it's great that people are getting an opportunity, right? They're getting to like step up where they're at. So when he asked me to look it up, I 100%, there's not a doubt in my head that it's only associated to his political views on what the military is and not you. I don't know if you can believe me. I don't want you to have that going on because I know you like God of War, right? It's kind of shitty to hear that the guy who made the whole thing, like all those journals of him coming up with the backstory of this universe of God of War is now like critiquing you. I don't think he was. I think he does critique you on the spending money on your own channel thing. That for sure, he has like an opinion against you. But the military service thing, I genuinely don't think that was in his mind.
Can I ask you, do you remotely see my point though?
Oh yeah, I do.
In any okay.
I see your point. I have an understanding for like your PDA like position. I think there's such an association to Jaffe because of that argument about the money for your show that it's kind of like leading that conclusion of maybe it is him talking about your military service history. But I've known the guy for a while now. I'm dating his daughter, going to engage to her soon. She can't hear me, so that's cool.
That's awesome.
But he's just he's like a kid when it comes to like how his brain works. It's just like thought. And he was,
I get it.
Yeah. But I like Cafe. For those in Aussie watching, support Cafe. Cafe is a great fucking show.
Now, one of the reasons what started this whole thing was because of money, always with his kind, right, Jeffrey? But enough of that. Obviously, you should always support your show. You should always try to, support your show and your network of people and your friends. I mean, Boogie does it. And I think Jeffrey was never about that. Like, in his head, at least he's like, why should I? I have no reason. And I think that kind of signaled that he didn't really have any loyalty or care for the rest of the LCU or even the show that was under the LCU dumb. If you want my truthful opinion, right? If you want my truthful opinion about that. I mean, it was whatever for however long it lasted. I didn't really watch Madhouse. I don't really care for... Because let me be real with you. Madhouse conspiracy stuff is like very boomer mindset, very Americano. It is what it is. And the debate, and obviously because of that, Jeffrey and his whatever mindset. And I think people reacted in a way that Jeffrey was like, well, what did I do wrong? I was just doing some research because it's caught my interest, because I thought about it, so I'm going to do research. And it's one of those things where, like, yeah, I can see why you're mad, but it's Jeffrey, and you should I guess in my head, you should just expect it as it is. Obviously, there are going to be people who join the military for money. And I don't even think Ken thought of those people as less. I just think that I think the way Jeffrey put it was he thought that Ken did it for the money, and obviously that wasn't the case. Like, let's be real. I'm not saying people don't do it for the money in the military. I met people who have joined the military for money or for college, and even they admit, like, maybe I should have not done it, but they still are proud soldiers nevertheless. Also, when you join the military, I think Tech Protect needs to learn that regardless of any age, of any period of time, the military service, you're going to change, right? I think Shockman was talking about it, why he was close to joining the military but felt something was a little off. It's because end of the day, the military, you go in there for the service of the state and the country and the people, or really the state, right? Depending on which point of history, it's either for the state, the country, the people, the lords. It all differ. End of the day, and I don't like saying this, and I feel really bad saying it, and I think most people would agree that soldiers are a tool of the state, that they are. But at the same time, they are still people, and I think to the common, and even those in power still treat them as people. But at the end of the day, soldiers are what makes empire rise or fall. If you don't like that, then don't join. But you have to acknowledge that for your state to exist, it needs the military and it needs people who are willing to go down that path. Maybe I'm looking at it maybe too historically or more different, I guess. But I don't know. Maybe that's how I see it.
This is their return warfare. Don't sip, just brace. Still milking. Still milking. Milking. Drip too heavy.
Welcome to Lolcowmilkers. So this is a new era, new flavor, and I have been officially crowned the new co-host of Lolcowmilkers. Now, I see a lot of people saying that the song doesn't fit. Well, it was a very last-minute song, thankfully by Bomba. Thank you so much, Bomba. But Beans is in the building, and they brought me up to shake up this show. I'm here to churn the milk until it turns to butter, like Roxy's legs. So let's see if she is okay with this new change. Hey, Roxy.
Roxy is really fucking pissed right now.
Why is Roxy so pissed right now? I thought you'd be happy that I'd be here.
Do you understand? Number one, I got 2 fucking co-hosts. One I can't stand. The other one is fucking not even a fucking elder. She's like young, dumb, and still full of cum. I mean, and I have no internet. What if my internet don't work? What's gonna happen?
I thought you made the big bucks here. I thought Lolcowmilkers was one of the top shows. You don't even have money enough to make some fucking internet work.
Listen here, you little stinking ass bitch. I'm supposed to have the best internet here. I'm sorry, there's outages. I don't know what to tell you. I'm pissed. We got a one-legged fucking freak that's gonna be our another co-host. I'm so sick and tired of this freaking shit. Hi, Beans. I'm so glad you're here.
You're so glad I'm here. That's so nice to hear.
So
well, first off, we have Hunter with the 199 beans. Did you hate Ken the whole time? Of course not. I'll always love the cafe, and I'll always love the coffee cult. This was just a new change that was dropped on my lap, and thankfully, I can show something new to the LCU. But girl, breathe. You're gonna pop along right before we get to the good part. So you're mad because the show finally got some flavor, and that's what I'm here for. So we're not done.
Listen, little girl, you're in the fucking big leagues now. Get it? Got it? Good. So you are lucky to be here. We will get into that. But I want to know why in the hell do we have a fucking one-legged, stupid fucking trailer park trash bitch over here that is gonna fuck? I'm just so frustrated with everything. Fuck Keem, fuck Mike, fuck Ken, fuck Cafe, fuck all these fucking shows. I'm done with it. Milkers needs to sit there and we need to climb back up. I know we can do it. I know we can because we have the best audience. I know that for sure. But I don't know. I'm scared. I'm tired. We gotta be bigger, better, stronger than ever. And I know our supporters will do it. How do you feel about being here? Are you scared?
Yeah, so I'm scared because this is supposed to be Lolcowmilkers, and you know, the first connotation of the show was supposed to be something that I have lack thereof. But in general, we're gonna try to make this the best possible thing for you, Roxy, because you're the star of the milkers. You're supposed to be the one that I'm supposed to milk for content. But I think Mike, his whole idea is that we're supposed to just keep the pirate theme. So we're going to have this one-legged bitch be on the show.
I can't believe it. When I fucking seen the thumbnail, I was so...
Now, moving away from Ken and all that drama, we're finally moving into... oh my god, Milkers was brutal to watch. It was bad. Like, actually really bad. Like, usually people say, oh, this episode or whatever was bad. This was actually bad. Like, you know, to the point where... holy hell, what even happened, Bean? What the heck happened to your personality? Like, I was just a little... I was so little shocked. Like, you have to watch the stream to know what I mean. Like, people criticize Savage, and I think Milkers needs Savage, or it needs a complete revamp. Because it cannot survive this long without Savage. If this is what it is, you know what? And I'm willing to give it the benefit of the doubt. It's just Monday. But holy crap, you're starting out Monday like this? This is not good. Maybe it'll get better. But we'll have to wait and see when that happens.
I'm gonna check and see. Let me see my internet's working so I can get back onto the regular thing. Hold on 1 second. Can you guys... I'm here. I'm not going nowhere. Just hold on.
Okay.
I check.
All right, you do that.
Oh,
look
pickle
at
fuck. You motherfucker. You're
Pickle
so
fuck?
lucky I can't
What
call you
you
right
said?
now.
Michael?
What a train wreck.
Hey,
Dude, you're so fucking... What did you do to me? You fucking couldn't help me? Why would you stick me with this fucking wannabe fucking one-legged, fucking insulin-dependent, fucking half-dead bitch and this fucking little nerdy fucking cafe cunt? Why?
Roxy! Roxy!
What the fuck do you mean?
Roxy finally looks like Roxy woke up. That's good.
Yeah,
I
a
can't
little
do
bit.
this. I'm gonna fucking lose my shit.
Dude, you guys watching this do not realize you blew through an hour of notes in 10 minutes.
I have nothing in front of me at all. I
10
have nothing in front of me.
minutes.
You have the star of a show with no internet at all. She can't look at her notes so we can know what to talk about. I'm trying to do everything fucking possible.
You know what?
It's so bad. It's so bad that I had to pop in here and I am on suspension.
How is this even possible? Listen, Beanie Weenie, start a segment. I will bounce off of you. We will give our opinions. Let's go. Let's go. Let's freaking go.
Mike.
Oh my god.
Mike.
Keemstar goes, okay, dude, pop in there and say something because this is bad. Guys, one's in the chat if this is bad. Send a $1 donation to this song.
Mike. House Queens.
Queens is doing so good. So much better than this.
Yeah, Queens has been on air for how many months and they don't get changed ever? This is our first time. 1 second.
Yeah. What the hell?
Chatted $20. Beans and Roxy are good.
Yeah,
Miss Brenda, I don't think is good for this show. Bring
Oh,
in
shit.
pigtails.
So that was Ralphie Tipples with the $20. Beans and Roxy are good. Miss Brenda, I don't think it's good for the show. Bring in pigtails.
Oh, good lord.
So I hate to come in and interrupt the show.
Hold on, I
but
gotta do a
clearly
dance.
everybody
I
else
got
is already
20.
doing it 'cause
Shut up, fucking Zay. I gotta do a fucking stupid dance.
Yeah, she has to dance.
Oh
Honestly,
my
Roxy,
god.
take your old ass and dance and let
Shut the fuck
young,
up.
pretty Zay Zudin talk, okay? At this point, she's so much more entertaining. Please, Zay.
Thank you, Mike. Anyways, I came to say, I
Hold me down.
don't even know how we ended up in this position where you put Beans on the fucking show, Mike, but we all know she kills every single show she's been on. She killed the fucking donuts today. Look at the Saturday show that I did. Look at the donuts on that day compared to this day. It's a huge fucking L.
Okay, it's a big fucking L in your opinion, but I already freaking put you out there and then you got mad at me because I freaking put your name out there because you're like,
Shut up, bitch.
show. Talk one at a time. This is my show. Don't make me kick you off like you do on yours.
And your show fucking sucks. Keem already said he's kicking you off next, Shorty. It ain't gonna be your show past an hour from now.
Okay, okay, fucking what? What
All
about
you have
it?
to say is okay. You suck, Beans. I'm telling. I'm
Okay,
saying
all I
this
have to
for
say
Keemstar
is
here.
okay.
Take
I
this bitch
literally
out the
said
universe.
you can fight me, and then literally no. Let's actually
to
go
Orlando tomorrow. I'll come to Orlando tomorrow.
Orlando. I'm not catching a case for a fucking meth head like you fucking bitch. Okay, you're a fucking pussy because you don't even want to train and get more money. I have given you so many opportunities to get more money, and then you want to talk some fucking shit. I've been so fucking nice to you. I've been so fucking nice to you, Zay.
I don't need more money from you. My show is making money. Yours isn't. That's why they put you here to try to put you on a show to make money. But really, you're just taking a spot from anybody else in the LCU with actual fucking talent. You come in, you can't even fucking run OBS. You're out here promoting Cafe.
How am I not running OBS? The show is going perfectly fucking fine, you fucking bitch. You're
We've seen it.
Came in and said this show sucks. He's literally in the Discord.
Breathe,
saying,
Skeletor, breathe.
Die watching this. It's so fucking boring.
If Nerd is beating us, we got a problem.
The only reason why Saturday was anything of a show was because you had other people trying out. You're just sitting there like the fucking dead doornail that you are.
10 times what you
lady.
You were there. You were there with some
Venus
bitch
is
rubbing
shut
mustard
up.
on her face.
Beans. Calm down.
This is much better.
Welcome, Keem. I saved you. You're welcome, Keem.
Wait, the first hour of notes that I sent was just like this. Nobody listened.
I know what to do, bro. Just say. I'm not saying I want to be on milk.
We had already argued amongst ourselves.
Skeletor, breathe. Eugenia Cooney, how about you calm down for a fucking second?
No, I'm talking
Literally.
I'm saying exactly what I gotta say, getting every word out. You're just talking over me because you're triggered. All you gotta say.
I'm not talking over you. You've been
talking
talking over me for the fucking past hour, bitch. The only reason why Saturday was entertaining was because you had some bitch in pigtails fucking rubbing mustard on her face. It looked like some freaking other bitches having a fucking eating contest with the freaking.
Pigtails got to do with me? What does pigtails got to do with me?
She was the one making it entertaining, rubbing some mustard on her face. You want to talk about talking over? You're literally talking over me right fucking now. You're talking over me right fucking now. You're saying holding on to nothing. The only thing you can say is I'm not entertaining. It's my first fucking day. Let's talk about how you used to be on Milkers and it was canceled after a whole fucking week because you couldn't bring anything to it.
Go ahead.
Milkers actually didn't get canceled after a week. It was put on hiatus. Why? Because honestly, I wasn't the fit at that time with the cast that they had. And if you think that you somehow are the fit for this cast,
who fucking said I was a fit? Keemstar put me on a fucking show. If he thinks that I'm not fit, then he can fucking move me. That's the whole fucking point of the LCU. You got moved like fucking 3 fucking times.
And you get kicked from the
Just
LCU.
move your
Can we go back to Saturday? Can we go back to Saturday where everybody in the chat was talking about me? Nobody fucking wanted you there.
Wait, Saturday, the entire chat was saying that me, Roxy, and Brenda should host the show? Go back and look, Beans.
Yeah,
They did, but no, listen. All right, ladies, calm down. This is what's gonna happen. Today is the first.
Yeah, it was so bad that I won't lie. Dave coming in actually made us save this show. Like, it was that bad. There's a point that even kid behind the camera had to come out of retirement to even come in and tell them, like, you guys need to do more because it is going down the shitter. It was that bad. And again, it's weird because the other times, right, that Bean was at the helm, I thought she did really good, but like, what even happened? Like, I get it, it's your first time, and I think, you know, Brenda probably wasn't the best third person. I think she's too calm and relaxing. I think she would fit better in a different show, or if anything, not at all. But damn, it was bad. And I was like, please, anybody come in and save the show, start something. And thank God Zay Zuda is. I don't even like her, but I'll give her props for this one. And also, why is he about to cry? Why is he about to cry? Like, girl, you good? It was so bad. Again, Mike came out of suspension. I was like, nah, you need to pull the plug now because this ain't cheap. And the rest of the show was wasn't any better. It was a disaster. It was a shit show.
Thing was fire them, right? Like, especially with the Roxy thing.
Why are the fucking Can you just move Nightmare to our show?
Yeah, we'll bring him in.
Oh, here they are.
What's up, dudes?
What up, Rast?
Rastov says that you guys handled the whole thing with Test bad.
With nerds.
Well, what do we do?
Or with nerds.
You had an opportunity to do something so fucking like funny. You could have made them do literally anything, and then like you were like, not fire them, and that's it. And like, Nightmare, you got fired for that whole Roxy thing, right? And that shit was bullshit as well.
Did I try to pull up my genitals and call you a PDF? Yes or no? No.
Why are we even talking about this anyway?
What a fucking retarded statement, Rashad. Dude, you bitch for that reason. Let me fucking get a post out. You can say all you want because it didn't happen to your fucking show, brother man, okay? Now, we made a fucking point. If test viewers, the people who support test and the regulars, made members, because we do make a lot of members, why the fuck would we put that towards the punishment? And I strictly said on live several fucking times, if you guys want to contribute, if you're a test support only and you want to contribute to that goal, let it be known, and I'll add it to it, which is what I did with Nusu, I believe it was. Exactly. What Billy asking me?
No, because I watched the stream, right? I watched the fucking stream. At the start, you said, no, Nusu, you support us, and so we're not accepting it. You only accepted it later.
No, Nusu.
The clip was in the fucking. The clip was in the Discord.
But again, you're looking at a little clip and not the guys.
Shut the fuck up for a second. Just let me talk, dude. At the end of it, when Billy jumped in, he came in and said, would you accept Nusu's if he gave you another 5? And you were like, yeah, of course. And then you accepted it then. No, I literally fucking had to go back and watch it because after you pulled that shit, I clicked off. I was like, no, I'm not watching this bullshit.
I literally said to Nusu because it was said in the chat at the time we made members, and they were like, "Oh, you're not gonna add that." I said, "Well, no, he's a follower of us, and he's made several like donations to us. He's contributed to us massively." So I said, "Why would I add that to the goal?" And then they mentioned that he was a mod. I said, "Well, fair enough if he wants." And I said strictly, and you can get the fucking live up. I don't give a shit. I said, "Nusu, do you want this contributed to the goal?" I did not see a response from Nusu. Then I saw towards the end, he said, "If I do another,
like you know, he's from nerds. He should. He also he has to say no, don't add it to him.
What do you mean?
It just makes you guys seem greedy, dude.
Are we greedy? Are you born retarded or you choose to be this way, Rastov? Pick one.
No, it literally made you guys come across as being greedy. You had an opportunity to have a massive W, and you turned it into a W for them.
Literally kowtowed so easily to that point when Billy brought it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. We made it look even weaker.
No, yeah. Say after the sweeping fucking meme.
So you want us to push back? Like, what's your point here? We gave it up so like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And then we just gave, and then we were like,
we didn't argue with it.
You guys are the only ones that came out of that looking good, right? You got fucking promo on live, you got chucked on fucking Drama, you got 200 free members that you had to do nothing for, and you acted like little bitches about it. Honestly.
Show us the case where we actually bitches. Show us the case where we kicked off. Show us the case where we argued. Show us the case where we kicked off. Show us the clip where we kicked off on our live, because I know you didn't find one. I literally told everyone in the chat to shut the fuck up arguing about. I said we were moving on from it. What the fuck are you talking about?
There's no fucking point. All right, whatever. Fucking waste my time. You can't even have a fucking conversation, dude. Just like the whole fucking time, dude. Jesus Christ. It's no wonder fucking Buff came out of that looking better.
Rastov, do you want me to fire him?
No, because then you'd have to find more hosts. I want you to unban fucking Drake and give him and just put him on probation. That's what I want.
Now moving into the good old LCL, really wasn't really much. There was supposed to be Tabasca, but he never came on. So good job, Toby. I was excited for nothing. But really, this was mostly about the the drama that happened a couple days ago with nerds and Tess and all that situation. And sort of the way Nightmare's been acting, and I'm not gonna lie, yeah, Nightmare has been acting very, how can I say this? Very much like a woman, like just very much absolute. And I don't know why. Maybe it's because like he's not wrong by saying that, like, you know, he's not wrong by saying that there was a real genuine threat, that whole thing could have turned out the way it is. And I guess like Rastov spoke to the guy and said, like, you know, he wasn't planning to do that, but you never know because it's Rastov, and Rastov's a nice guy. But the attitude they gave to Rastov here was wild. It was 100% wild. It was like, damn, you gonna let him talk to you like Rastov? And obviously when we get to the next clip, they kind of like do a 180.
It has nothing to fucking do with that. I don't think they deserve to be fucking fired. No.
Okay, so
I had an opinion on the way they handled the situation. That's literally as far as it goes.
Rastov, explain the situation again. Why are you mad at them?
I was mad because they got handed like the easiest fucking W, and they did not take it graciously. In fact, they came across as like Karen. Well, not so much Grim, but mostly Nightmare came across as Karen.
$19.99. Mr. Outback Steakhouse. Think to yourself, what would my dog you saved, who just had surgery, feel about this?
And then when
you're never gonna let me live that shit down, are you?
What's the other part? That's the first part. What's the other part when the goal was hit that you're upset about?
So apparently they got you guys like 210 members, but there was some dispute that the goal wasn't met.
No, we will have enough. I counted. We will have enough.
That's just what Nerds had told me yesterday.
Yeah, that's fair. And he got like said, but I wasn't being an asshole about it in the main, like I'm being portrayed as right now. We weren't being an asshole in the live either. It was a misunderstanding. Nusu even put in your chat that it was just a misunderstanding. He didn't hear me say, "Do you want to count it towards the goal or not?" And then it got rectified later with no issue whatsoever. Billy did indeed bring it up, but that's because I didn't see Nusu's chat, right?
Okay, maybe that's how it happened. But I watched the first part of that stream, bro, and after I saw that part, I was like, dude, I can't believe you guys are acting like this. And I just turned off. And I came back and watched it later at the end, and I saw like Billy jump on, and he's like, can you accept it now if he gives 5 more? And he goes like, of course. You know, so it just like it irked me. And then like trying to say that Billy was sweeping just because he was his friend. Like, do you guys remember how many times he jumped in to fucking help Twiggy and I, right?
That's true. No, that's true. Look, I like Billy. I respect him, but I can also disagree with him at the same time, right? Like, I'm not going to agree with everything Billy says. And I said,
of course not. I'm not expecting you to, but I'm just saying this is how I feel from my point of view, watching it as a viewer.
And you brought out what Nusu said in the chat, which is why I've been waiting for him to like respond to. And I said, yeah, absolutely, it's fine. And then we just did it. There's no issues. That's why I don't see why that got blown up to what it was, as if like we were kicking off, like fuck saying, well, Nusu, you watch this as well, so you're not allowed to do it, contribute to that. I was like, no, we made it abundantly clear at the beginning.
Gentlemen,
that's how it was. Though.
So gentlemen, you're saying Rastov's criticism of how you guys handled it is just wrong. He's mischaracterizing the whole thing.
So here's what
we got. Quick Donald.
RASTOV. I am one of your top supporters. You are really disappointing me here, man. This is the moment to step up and be a boss.
Why do you want me to fucking fire Tears? It doesn't make sense. I just had an opinion.
Go ahead, Grim.
I think part of the reason as to why we're having a bit of a misunderstanding here is because of no offense to you, Nightmare. You know, whenever you hopped on the nerds and you went full blown.
You are dead to me.
Go ahead, Grim.
Yeah, you went to like a way like an emotional tangent about it, right? Then afterwards, you did a full 180 on test. Like you were like, you know what? We're not gonna make a big deal out of it. You know, it is what it is with the nerd situation. We're not trying to like cause any problems. We're just gonna accept any donos that come through and whatnot. Then Nusu in the beginning of the stream donated like 5. And we didn't take those because we're like, oh well, Nusu normally donates to us all the time. Literally every day he'll give us 5 5 members, right? Just every day. It was normal. So we're like, oh, we don't count that because he does that every day anyways. I literally said that right after he donated it. But obviously he must have cut off at that point. Then afterwards near the end, Billy brought it up. Billy was just like, hey, Nusu just mentioned in the chat, if you accept the new 5 that I'm about to give you, will you accept the past 5 that I gave you and put it onto Nerd's goal? Guess what we said? No pushback. Sure. Yeah, why not?
And that's what made it look real fucking flip-floppy, right? Like, because the intensity of Nightmare at the beginning was so fucking
we didn't know
crazy.
it was for the 5. Yeah, we didn't know it was for nerds. He never specified.
But it came across as it literally came across as greedy watching it. I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude! Like, you guys know that. I assume that you guys knew that guy watched nerds, right? Because Nusu is always in their VC.
Okay. We understand both sides on that. What was the dispute at the end? That's where I'm confused.
It's with Nusu. That was it.
No, at the end, they believe we hit the goal. We were 11 off. So I just said that.
I wasn't aware.
I literally was brought up in the chat and I said, right, we're 11 off, and that's literally it. Gafgarian was like, okay, well, I'll do this if you're telling the truth. I'll put 20. And I said, okay, no worries. And that was it. It was done. Then I tagged Scully, saying, by the way, just let you know, goal's been hit. Can we get buff his host rollbacks? I didn't know if he was asleep or not.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you.
Why did you guys not ask for a different punishment other than them getting fired? Right? You knew he wasn't going to do it.
As I said on test, it was out of like the emotion of the situation, because again, it's not about how I thought it would affect test. That's generally not it. I mean, people can manipulate into a selfish tactic all they want. It's about how I thought it was going to affect everyone. And what this platform has given to me, myself and Grim, I think I can speak for Grim in this situation, is something that we truly do cherish and appreciate, and we are very grateful for. And if that did carry out the way it could have, that could have absolutely affected the entire brand. And that's why I was like,
they absolutely would have been fired if I had some evidence that they knew the kid was going to do what he was going to do. But I couldn't. I researched that to hell and back, and I couldn't get any evidence that they knew that he was doing that.
Yeah, which is fair. And as I said to you, Keem, I'll accept whatever decision you make on it, you know? And again, like it was coming out of a place of emotion, which I said on test, because at the time it was like, why would that line get crossed? I've spoken to Buff about it as well, post live and stuff, and something I was going to address today on test regarding the situation. But yeah, at the time, a lot of it was out of emotion, because again, it doesn't just affect me; it affects like you guys, it affects Siley, Billy, it affects Buff and Zay.
Okay, gentlemen, why do you think you went so hard at Rastov, even though he like came in the end of last month to help you guys?
I appreciate Rastov for coming in the end of the month and helping out. However, again, like I said, it's not going to stop us from disagreeing with him over situations.
Right, they're not mutually exclusive. Just because he helped us doesn't mean we can't have a disagreement either.
Yeah, but I mean, if he's giving you advice on content, you think you might want to listen to him, right? If he's saying like, I don't like how you handle that, I would like be like, maybe I should listen to him. Maybe I should reflect on that a little bit. It seems like.
Well, if the context is off, then it seems out of place. Like, for example, if he actually did watch the full 2 hours and, could at least talk to us beforehand, in a more professional manner, I feel like that'd be fine. If he genuinely thought it was that big of an issue, then I'm sure he would have hit us up and told us about it. But to blow it up here and then only watch the first 10 minutes of the show and then the last 10 minutes of the show.
No, I watched the first half and then the second half later. So I watched the whole stream.
Boogie, how mad would you be if I tell the DoorDash driver to throw the broom on the roof?
Pretty fucking mad. I don't have a ladder.
All right, gentlemen, thank you. Thank you, guys. All right. So that conversation went way different than the first time.
As I said, I think the way they came in the first time, yeah, you can tell they were coming in fully aggressive and hot. Even Grim called out Nightmare and his bullshit for acting like that. Very childish. I think Nightmare even said that. Nightmare, not Nightmare. Graham was saying that even Nightmare was acting like a character, and he rightfully was. But I think at the same time, you can't blame a guy who's got an opportunity, an easy opportunity to get real quick money. You can't really blame a guy for that. But at the same time, you know, you're acting way too womanish. You gotta calm that shit down when you're working with these kind of people. But in a way, you can say that Nightmare is coming in well as a lolcow. I think that's the one thing I can say that. Like, if anybody else besides they and of these, I got these new generation of, it makes no sense how that ever came out. But you can say that these people are coming in well like lolcows. And truthfully, I think that's what this universe need is more lolcow rather than just being nice and there's nothing wrong with being entertaining, but I think one of the things that the LCU is missing right now is like genuine lolcows. But going from hot and heavy to just docile and calm, I feel like in a way this was a test on Keem and to see if whether or not Rastov would actually fire them, because like Keem was very much asking like, why not fire, and I think it was a way to test Rastov, and I think Rastov passed the test for that, and rightfully so. But Nightmare was acting like a little wussy, so there's that.
Take her ass back to the fucking trailer park, wherever the fuck she came from, and get some fucking acting lessons because she's fucking trash, okay? Number one. Number two, Becky, why are you sitting there calling me boring, calling me all these names? Yeah, you're sitting there doing exactly what I did, using ChatGPT, dressing up as a fly.
You use ChatGPT?
Your problem, Becky, let me finish, and then I'll let you talk. Your problem is you say that I'm boring, I am not entertaining. According to Keem, I'm right next to you in the tier list. So as long as Keem thinks I'm okay, that's all that matters, Becky. Now what do you have to say?
I was going to say, first of all,
if you're close to Becky, you're going with her holding hands.
First, I'm shocked that you even use ChatGPT. I had no idea you did that. You could barely work a fucking computer.
Becky,
Second,
bullshit.
we got
You
a
heard me say
donation,
that.
so let me show you how it should be done. Mary gave $20 to say, what do you think of Keem's tier list today? Tina can answer that in a second, but first, Roxy, take fucking notes.
Come on, big bitch. You're the biggest fly
I
I've ever seen in my
want to
life.
fly away. I want
Oh my God,
to...
my house is shaking.
What?
Is there an earthquake? Holy fuck.
Fuck, I forgot. I shook my ass and I forgot the words.
Becky,
I
want
want to
it can hold your fat ass years ago. It can hold this bitch with 4 ass cheeks, bitch. Shut up.
Holy fuck, man. No, I got holes in my floor from when I was fat. I think I just got another one. Holy fuck.
Bitches, shut the fuck up. It's my moment. I want to get away from Roxy. I want to fly away. Yeah, yeah.
Woo! Becky, if you clean up a little bit of trash, you might be able to move a little bit more. Weren't you a cheerleader, Becky, you said?
No.
A cheerleader?
You never said in high school you were a cheerleader or something?
No.
Her life.
Do I look like I was a cheerleader? Does this look like cheerleader material to you?
I don't know what you look like when you're younger. Were you a fat bitch when you were younger too? I was, and I was still a cheerleader.
I think that's another one of your pathological dementia lies, Roxy.
Actually, you know what? I actually have a picture of me in my cheer uniform. I will show tomorrow.
You should. The mothers on the other cheerleaders had to make it for you because they don't make material that big. I know that.
What are you gonna do when milkers don't talk about you like we didn't today? You have to talk about us for your whole show. What are you gonna do, Becky?
See, you're a fucking leader. Y'all talked about us today. Tell your team Tina to fucking get to the slaughterhouse with her cottage cheese looking fucking cunt who's got to get fucking. I can't hear it. I told her that you're gonna go after her because you don't like anybody fucking with Mike, and I also told her that Becky is gonna be pissed because she wants Mike on her shower chair that has 2 arms and a back where she can spread them and get ready, Becky.
Yeah, like
so what
I
are you gonna
said,
say to that?
I already said it on your show. She doesn't have to worry about that because Mike actually likes women with talent, and she has none. So no worries. I'll be just fine.
So he's got to go to an eye doctor first. Maybe when he gets his eyes checked, he can see the fat bitch for what she is over there.
1 second. While these 2 old coots are yelling at each other, guys, give me ideas for fly songs you want to hear me sing in the fly outfit, and I'll take notes.
Becky, you have to move. You're scamming your audience by sitting there and going back and forth with your arms. That's not a dance.
Scamming? You guys act like you got a brand new fucking crew up there. You guys all suck donkey.
My crew fucking sucks. I fucking hate them. I hate my fucking crew.
But you're gonna have to fucking get food stamps and welfare.
Here, I'm sorry.
No suck dick today.
Let me be
hate
like
my crew,
Roxy.
but I am a team player and I'm willing to work with them so we can become better. Teamwork makes the dream work. I won't treat them like you treat Sweet Tea. You treat Sweet Tea so bad, Tina. Shame on you. That's so sad how you treat her.
Let me be Roxy. I got no dick to hold me down. I have to sing because I am a clown. Fuck you, Roxy, you stupid. Telling me how to do it. What?
Get up and do half of the moves that I do.
What do? You go like this when you're Pinocchio, bitch, motherfucker. When you're Pinocchio, you're literally like, I got no strings to hold me down.
No, I spin around. I kick my legs up.
Fuck off, stupid.
Kick your legs up. Kick your legs up, Becky.
He can't see my legs.
There's gonna be like a bunch of spider vaginas coming out of that motherfucker, Mo.
Fuck you, you fucking one-legged
she ain't
fucking
getting
cunt
fucking
bitch.
thing out. You
Fuck
couldn't
off,
hang
you
that bitch
fucking
for the
four-eyed, strawberry shortcake looking fucking
nobody
triple pie man fucking bitch, and you fucking
motherfuckers!
wanna be fly fucking cow shit bitch.
I got no strings. The whole
So into queens with the usual queens as you would expect, the usual, I would say like general e-bagging and all that fun stuff. You know, I don't even know. Roxy probably coming in was this her attempt probably from Keem to break up the general mannerism, not the mannerism, but the general feeling that was going on Queen. But I don't even think that's okay. I think Roxy was trying to go up there and try to defend her and Beans. But again, you know, like, yeah, it was just a crap episode on Queens. But let's be real, how many times, like, you know, for almost like what, a week or two, Milkers had nothing but really bad episodes, or just episodes that were so dog shit that, you know, people couldn't watch it. And I'm not saying Milkers never had bad episodes. Milkers clearly had some bad episodes, but not to this level. But then again, it's Monday. It's being first time being a different host in a different network, in a different show. So in my head, it's like, you just gotta give her some slack. And I think them kind of going into it too hard, I don't think it's what you should expect from the queens. And I think even like Becky even straight up admitted that she loves the current milkers because they're not succeeding, they're failing. And if that doesn't give you an inkling of what kind of person Becky really is, I don't know what's gonna help you. But then again, hey, people pay her bills. There's that.
Sorry, I'll bring you back, but it's a business opportunity. I gotta try. Mandarin is sick.
You changed your name from Tracy Montgomery because you're trolling and you're saying Xylee doesn't matter, neither do I. Well, that goes to show you neither do you, because you don't know if you're a man or a woman, you stupid bitch.
What up, Xylee?
Hey, Xylee, this bitch has so much to say about you. I'll let you talk for yourself, honey. Go ahead.
Well, what you got to say? All I said was that you acted like you liked me. She said, "Who do you think you?" What'd you say, Tina or Becky? Something about
nothing.
Which host I should be afraid of or something. And I said I thought that Xylee was my friend, and then she turned on me real quick.
Oh yeah, she said you seem like you like her. She said that it seemed like you liked her, and then you don't anymore.
Yeah,
you thought I was your friend?
I thought. Well, you like defended me at one point when I first started.
Baby girl, we're not even in the DMs together, and until I tell you
maybe
something
friends is the
private
wrong
about
word.
yeah, it very much is the wrong word.
I meant being liked, I guess, or maybe
she
even
means that you were being
tolerated.
nice. I think maybe that
I
you were
feel
being
like
nice.
You're not even going to tolerate me.
Barely. I can barely tolerate you because I see you going
can
on
tell.
one show. Well, I see you going on one show saying one thing, and then you hop on another
Tell
show
me what
and say
that thing
another.
is.
And then
You have to tell me
sit
what it is.
there. I have literally seen you in the Discord crying, and then all of a sudden you switch it up just like that, and everybody's like, "Whoa, wait a minute! She was just crying. Now she's acting like a badass. What the fuck is that?"
I have a lot of emotions. I am a young woman, and you know, cycles and all of that. I think I have too much hormones because since I became an adult, I have pimples all over my face, like deep acne scars.
Wait. What has that got to do with you flip-flopping your emotions?
I think I have a lot of estrogen, like too much estrogen or some shit.
I got pimples on my ass at 56. I'm going through a fucking crisis. I'm going through adulthood. I'm going into old age.
The health department told me that. The health department told me that they think it was because I have too much.
Okay, wait. Now hormones will definitely cause you, you know, the acne and stuff like that. I get that, but I think okay. So what you show me is, I feel like you try your best at emotional manipulation.
There you go. I like that word.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah, I really feel like you try that emotional manipulation on people, and I laugh at it. I think it's like, bruh. I
didn't realize I was doing it.
That's what it looks like, especially when you're typing it out in the Discord and you're like, you sound super depressed, and then all of a sudden, yeah, bitch, I'm gonna do this, and we're like 5 seconds ago, you were like crying.
Listen,
now all of a sudden you're what?
Listen, when I'm in the Discord and I say like I'm depressed or something, and there'll be like a bunch of people saying like, "Oh, you're doing great, you're doing great," and that'll like lift me up a little bit, and I feel better.
Guidance, got it. You want people in Discord to give you a pat on the back like you're doing a good job.
I don't want to. They just do.
Well, they wouldn't if you didn't say, you know, I'm feeling kind of slow today. I'm feeling kind of depressed. I'm in my emotions. I feel like I should read the
Don't we
Bible
all do that a little bit?
No, we don't go in the Discord and do that. None of us do. I don't. No, I never see Becky do it either.
I've seen it quite a bit. Not from you guys, but
no problem. Can you tell us so I can go in there and watch them all fucking be a clown? I like clowns.
The nerds get on there. The nerds have been on there with Nightmare a little bit.
Yeah, they're fighting with Nightmare.
I know. But
that's fighting. That's not emotional manipulation, as in.
I'm not saying who's emotionally manipulating people. I'm just saying there's other girls
Okay, but I need you to follow the fucking conversation because the fucking conversation is emotional manipulation, not two people fighting.
Xylee, do you think she's tried to emotionally manipulate me? Or is it only in the Discord?
Yeah. She's sucking up to you, acting like you're a fucking low piece of shit, not the queen that you are, and that you can't handle your own, so she's gonna suck your ass and think you need one-on-one attention when that, in fact, is not the case. Becky used to be like you. We raised Becky on a larger bar now, and now she's...
Becky used to try to emotionally manipulate everybody. She is so much better than what she used to be.
She's a fucking queen. Everybody in the chat. Becky is queen. Becky's our queen. She's not a low-life bitch like sour cream.
Sweet tea, don't feel too bad. They're saying I used to emotionally manipulate people, and I can't think of a single time I tried to, so I don't
Becky
know.
Cries, Becky lies. What's the line? Becky cries, Becky lies. How much did you fucking cry before? It's been a while since I've seen a tear from you.
Cry without it being emotional manipulation, though.
It wasn't too many. It wasn't too many.
I'm not even talking to you at this point. Becky, how much did you used to cry every time you get caught at something?
Those were real fucking tears straight from my soul, Xylee. How could listen? Just because you are stone cold, I gotta. Though I cried, I had to cry the hurt out. Okay.
That's right. About crying. Look at here, baby back bitch. This is for big girls here. We ain't no fucking bunch of closets. Ain't kindergarten crisscross applesauce. Grow the fuck up.
I've got some
real people over here.
I'm real feminine. I got a lot of emotions.
That is no real feminine, ain't real emotion, you stupid bitch. Shut up. You sound retarded.
Okay, I'm gonna roll my eyes at that line, and I'm dipping out because I cannot take
this. She doesn't like us because we're younger than her.
I didn't put
we still have
waiters.
hormones.
Baby, I didn't put on waiters, so I can't deal with your bullshit that you're spouting out. Bye, y'all.
What brought Xylee up? I don't know. Either way.
So I guess the reason Xylee was on here mostly was because of they felt that maybe like, you know, Sweet Tea was emotionally manipulating people. I really don't care about that because how many people? Well, not that I don't care. I think that's the wrong way to put it. I don't think anybody in the main LCU really care because they rely on emotional manipulation regardless, right? How many times have the fans and queens have been emotionally manipulated to fund them? How many times we saw that in Milkers or Nerd, or even in Live? We see it all the time. It really doesn't matter how the way they're putting it. Now, maybe like Xylee was trying to nip it in the butt, but like, come on, even like Becky still does it, and you know, at this point, right? And it's just like, come on, guys, don't y'all don't be like this. We all know how y'all are really acting. It's I don't even know. Like, if she's gonna manipulate people emotionally, she's gonna do it, and a lot of people are gonna buy it. That's just how the network works. Let's not lie to ourselves, y'all. Let's not. It's like, what are you doing? And really, after this and before this, queens was usually queens. What do you expect? Donation, e-bagging. If that's not some type of emotional, manipulation, then I don't know what is.
If you fucking agree with me, bro.
Nasty Rasty, one of our high rollers. What's up? What's up, four roller Rasty?
Are you okay, Xylee? I did not fucking say that shit, by the way.
I'm good.
Did you say that, Rastov?
How are you?
No. I did not fucking say that. I don't know why this is a thing.
Wait, Rastov.
Xylee.
Okay, you and I are like really good friends, and we talk emotions and shit like that, right?
We
so
do,
we're like
yep.
really good friends. Like Sweet Tea, by the way, that's how you talk to a fucking friend, because I tell Rastov like private shit, like feelings and shit, bitch. You were never my fucking friend. Anyway, okay. I ain't never talked to you in a motherfucking DM. How the fuck you want to say you thought we were friends, bitch? Parasocial much? Anyway.
Wait, did she say that?
Yeah, she said that we thought
She thought Jeffy was her friend as well too. That shit was weird.
Ooh,
anyway.
Parasocial much? Okay.
Anyway.
Okay, so wait, was it 1 if I was wrong, 2 if I'm right? Okay, so there was a bunch of 2, so I know I'm right. Anyway, all right, Rastov. What do you think they should do with Tess then?
I don't know. I'm just trying to make it on live. I really don't care. Like, I don't want them fired though.
But okay, so do you think Tess provides a show? And I want you to be honest. Don't bullshit me, because I have a bullshit meter that's really up the dial when I'm fucking drunk. Bitch.
My favorite Test episodes have been the drama based ones. Right?
What do you mean the drama?
Like that episode where they did that whole thing on Zay, the first one. That shit, I fucking enjoyed the hell out of it.
Oh my god, that sucked because the receipts suck, bro.
I still enjoyed it. You asked me for my fucking opinion. You can say that it sucks. Okay, I don't care. It was my fucking opinion.
Right.
I do think they bring a show. I think they could do more. But I feel like this is all just bait to get me to talk shit on people.
Rastov, you have to get comfortable in talking shit on people. And it starts to get hard when you start to like people. And I can tell you that as an old haggard bitch myself, It actually gets hard to talk shit on people when you start to like them.
No
I
shit.
agree. Yeah. I'm sorry. I think okay, fuck it. I'm gonna say it. I think several shows should be cut. I
Which
do.
ones?
I think several shows should be cut. I'm sorry.
Which ones?
That's up to Keem to decide.
There's no one fucking rule for me and one for everyone else. You give your opinion
Okay,
now.
okay. I don't think any shows should be cut until there are 12 shows and the rotation is full. And then I think the shows should start being cut by other shows outdoing the shows. And then when those shows are cut, the shows that are cut go into a B team and start competing in the side time slots in the second network. The cut shows go into the B zone, and they are now in a secondary time slot that operates at a shorthand.
Okay, but here's the thing. A secondary time slot, they can't even compete in the fucking time slot that they're in. How in the fuck they going to compete in the secondary time slot?
Because they don't have to compete now because they're in this B zone where they're running against the other time slots. Because now once Keem has his 12 shows running, when you cancel somebody off of the main time slot, they go into the B zone. And as the B zone goes up, the main 12 gets stronger and stronger, and you kick the other ones off to the B zone, and the B zone gets so strong that all of a sudden the B zone is honing its skills, and it becomes the new fucking place to be.
Way too many times, dude.
Okay. Billy, I love you. You know I love you.
Mm-hmm.
I get really, really frustrated with you, and I get angry at you. But it's kind of like because you're like my little brother that I just want to punch in the fucking face, right? But I would fucking fight anybody over you at the same fucking time. So there's love there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You feel me? You feel me? Like for real? You feel me?
Yeah.
Like you frustrate the fuck out of me, but I would fight anybody over you because goddamn it, I can talk shit, but you ain't talking shit on my Billy.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Right? But I have to admit, you confused the fuck out of me when you said that. But I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna say. All right. This is okay, listen. I love everybody involved, but I think there needs to be a complete fucking overhaul with everybody besides Live, Queens, and Rewind. I'm sorry. Because shit ain't working. It ain't producing shit. You finding out that people just, bro, I'm sorry. I think.
But watch this. You've invested in these people. So if you fill up the 12 and then you start knocking the 12 into the B zone, which runs congruent with the 12, but doesn't get, they're obviously not the ones that can hang with the 12. They go into the B zone and they're on this other timeline. Then they still get to exist under the network, and that builds up its second timeline. And they're not expected to compete at the level of the initial 12. And the initial 12 continues to grow.
Billy's on to something.
One second, Boogie.
When you're on the main show, you have to make hard decisions. Not everyone is going to like it, and Keem and Boogie is trying to prepare you for that's why I'm making the dollar now.
Gotta make that dollar now, Gerard.
Wait, I'm sorry. I have to read that out loud to understand. Like I said a few donos on live, that when you're on the main show, you have to make hard decisions. Not everyone is going to like it. That's very true. And Keem and Boogie is trying to prepare you for that's why we are making money now. Okay, that dono, listen.
I get that, but like if my opinion. No. Let me respond to it before it disappears. No, he said it multiple times. You know what? He my boy. I appreciate it. But if my opinion is don't fire them, and people disagree with my opinion, you can't then say my opinion is not fucking valid because you disagree.
It's not your opinion.
It is my opinion.
Then why did you tell me on the phone just now that
I didn't.
You should have fired him if you were afraid to do it?
I fucking didn't.
Seth looks as don't mess with the B zone and get stung.
That's what I say.
True, Seth. Look, I have a controversial take. May I say it?
Of course.
No.
Wait, you said no.
Damn.
Get up.
Fuck you, Boogie. I didn't kick him.
Boogie, come back.
I did.
Obviously.
Okay. Fuck Boogie.
Boogie, come back.
Boogie. Can I say my controversial take?
Of course, Sally. Of course.
Okay, here's my controversial take, all right? And I don't give a fuck what Keem says, because you know what? Fuck it, I'm an outlaw on this motherfucker, and I'm only B tier, you bitch, all right? Stop looking in this fucking Discord for people who are talent, because apparently this Discord doesn't have that much talent! There are so many small streamers out there who run fucking OBS and already create content that would love to come to lolcow. Holy fucking shit!
I mean, I agree. I think we should fire Rastoff and replace him with somebody else.
No, fuck you! You're not replacing Rastoff, because let me tell you something. Rastoff is good for live.
Okay. Well, you just said that spiel about people in the Discord in front of Rastoff.
Yes, I love Rastoff. He's doing
And the small streamer that we just brought on the network known as Shockmouth sucks.
Whoa.
Does he really suck, or is he? Do you think maybe he's nervous? I don't know.
That means he sucks. If you're nervous, you suck.
He had 3 weeks of auditions.
Wait,
Why would he be? Why would he be
nervous?
nervous? He's a small YouTuber. He has all this experience.
Listen, my sleep schedule is so fucked up. I haven't been able to watch Aussy. So, like, how bad is he doing?
Bad. Rastoff's getting emails saying, "Dude, please come back. Mitch is destroying the show."
Oh, poor Mitch. bitch. Really?
People are trying to get me fired from live, so I have to go back.
But those are people who don't want you on live. Maybe they're just doing great. They just want you off live.
That's true. Because let me tell you something about
maybe those are all boogie under false accounts trying to get you off of live. They could all be boogie.
He can't type, he can't type an announcement. He can't make a second account.
I need another shot. Somebody pay $50 so I can take another shot. I don't drink.
Can I say something on my own show, please?
Yes, wait, this is my motherfucking show, bro.
This is Boogie's Rewind.
I think Billy's onto something. What if instead of going for 12 or 24 hours, Keem is talking about wanting competition, right? So what if we have just like 6 hours of A and B content? Our 6 hours, Queen, live, rewind, versus milkers, whatever fucking test aussy, who gives a shit?
Yeah, but Boogie, fix what you have already, though. God damn.
How about instead we put them off in exile and maybe one day they get good?
By the way, I think since the 2 o'clock is open, I'm going to go ahead and say it. And I don't know if this is a controversial take, but fuck it. I'll say it. I think nerds need to go back to 2 p.m.
Nah. They're doing all right where they're at. I mean, I could put them at 2 p.m., but they're doing pretty good where they're at.
Are they doing comparable?
So yeah. So if you're not aware, and I was aware of this, but I wasn't sure how true this is. Also, I realized this video is almost close to an hour and a half. I do apologize for the people who are watching this. Again, hopefully the next couple of days dramas are not intense, but hey, this may end up being like hours and a half videos. If you guys like that, hey, tell me if you do. If you don't, and you want me to cut it down, cut more of the fat out, go ahead, tell me. Perfectly fine. But yeah, if you're not aware, they are planning to create 2 separate, not network, but 2 separate teams of streamers, where you got the A team, which is your main lineup, and you got your B team. Yeah, I was aware of this, but I wasn't sure how true it was, because in my head, I'm like, isn't that a little excessive for... Most of these shows barely get... Alright, let's be real. Most of these shows are struggling to get up to 500 views. Let's be real. Right? Nerd is probably of the smaller shows that is able to at least get close to more than 400. Tess has a hard time. I'm not sure about Aussy, but I think Aussy sort of is in the same place. Cafe, right? To some extent even Nerd, as I said. And obviously Local Tech Talk. And obviously they have Local Dark, which is whatever. It'd be funny if Wings came back. But it's insane, right? It's all insane that they're trying to pull this right now in the midst of half of these shows don't even get the viewership that they would, right? We've already seen Nerds get close to 1,000, but always drop back down to, its numbers now, stability, I guess. Sorry, I'm recording this again at 4 o'clock. Hopefully this is uploaded by 10, 11 o'clock, and you guys can enjoy a nice, long, fat video. Don't worry, there will be a lot of chapters. Usually I don't cover Rewind that much, because a lot of the time Rewind does what I do. I would even say that Rewind does a better job, at least in a more professional sense than I do, where I'm just like clipping, clipping, and talking. Do I think Rastov is, like, obviously before the Boogie was telling them that Rastov would tell him that he wanted to fire the test guy. I don't think Rastov is like that. I don't think, even if in back of his head he wants to fire them, I think he knows not to fire them. I think because Keem's whole thing is believing in giving people second, third, fourth chances no matter what. We've seen this before. And I think Rastov is in that, in that line of thinking, but I think because he is now in a much more higher position where this can affect them even more, I think he's realizing maybe in a way he should fire them or penalize them. And I think that's something wrong, right?
Bitch, I give 2 fucks what you got to say.
Metalis, another shot caller in the 4 rollers, says, Billy, as your confidant, I'm forbidding you from discussing the matter any further.
What? Billy, as your confidant? Okay, Metalis is a bullshitter. I don't believe a goddamn word he says, so he can fuck off. Metalis,
you serious?
I like Metalis in the Rewind VC. He's dope, but he likes to start shit in the fucking donation, so you can fuck off too. But I mean that lovingly because I get along with you in the chat.
You know what I think we need, Sally? I think we need someone to give you another shot. You need your shots.
Do I need a shot? Because, the more shots I'm taking, the more truthful I'm being. And I don't know if any of the motherfuckers in the LCU take my goddamn truth.
I wanna Thomas Johnson says, can't Billy do 2 shows? That's a good question. What if Billy did 2 shows?
Okay, Thomas Mason. 13K is not figuring anything out. Bye. You know what, bitch? You know what? You're right.
Ian Hart
you know
says,
what? You're right. Bye, Thomas. Don't come back because you can't type in the chat anymore. Peace.
Ian
I'm
Hart-
tired of your ass talking shit on an alt account because you're too pussy to talk on your real account. Bye.
Ian Hart says, Xylee doesn't realize that the brooms are really for her. She's being swept off Rewind and Billy is being moved to another show. That's why no one is telling her about what the brooms are for. That's not true. She's buying 10 brooms for Boogie tonight.
I am. I'm buying 10 brooms
Yeah.
for Boogie tonight. I'm being a part of the situation.
And Stan Design says, congrats, Billy. So, Xylee, should I tell everyone you're coming back from buying milk and cigs? That's not true.
And Stan, is it really true? I mean, listen, let me tell you something. If I gotta go back to my channel and do 11 streams in a fucking week, I will. You know me, I'll grind it. I don't give a fuck. And I'll do the whole goddamn Hassan, Ethan, Destiny fucking streams. I don't give a fuck. I'll do what I got to do, bitch. You know that.
You know, Xylee, we got 15,000 subscribers on Rewind channel too. We're 15K gang. We did that together.
Are you leaving me, Billy?
No, we still got a few more.
No, answer me straight up. Yes or no, motherfucker. Stop
And yeah, so before we move on to Nerd, there wasn't really much on Taz and Local Tech Talk. I don't really watch it that much. I will say this much about what's going on with Xylee being drunk. I'm not the biggest fan of... Not that I'm not the biggest fan of people getting drunk on live. It's just... Sweet Lord, Xylee getting drunk like this every single, like not every other day, because he's actually, think about it now, them drinking has been very common in the LCU. It's kind of to the point where it's making me worry just a little bit. Like I know I kind of see myself as a bit of a detractor, right? But it actually does worry me quite a bit. Maybe I'm wrong for thinking that, but like you guys need to cut back the drink. And Xylee getting drunk like this and emotional over, obviously Billy's not gonna go local dark. He's not gonna leave Rewind. He may go dark to help them every so often. Right? I can imagine him being a manager over there, but I don't think he's gonna leave Rewind. And I think I think if I was Billy, I probably would have pulled back the jokes and be like, all right, she's drunk, she's emotional, she's saying things that, I probably would have stopped my mouth. Because if you never met a woman like this when they're drunk like this, or they're volatile, you know what I mean, emotional, it's not a good time. It's not a good time at all, yo. It's just a point where I'm like, yo, you gotta stop Xylee, because this is actually feeling uncomfortable. I have a friend like Xylee, very similar to Xylee, which is funny because I don't really like Xylee, but I love my friend. But I think that's more due to me being... That's because we've been friends since sort of childhood, teen years, so I guess there's that. But to me, in this moment, with Xylee getting this emotional and almost downright crying, I was like, all right, you gotta stop. Like, I would have probably been like, all right, I'm gonna move you out for a couple minutes, get yourself clear out, drink some water. If you need to go to sleep, go ahead. I can run the rest of the stream, but you are acting. I would have. But then again, it's all for content, so I guess it's just content. Maybe. I don't know. Let's move on to Nerd.
Rewind and Nerds, we are here for you guys.
I'm really not. Listen, I don't want everybody to know this. Like, okay, in real, if we're like being real, like I understand I come across this big bitch, right? And I get that.
No.
But here's the thing. I'm like that because I want to see y'all succeed. Because quite honestly, if I didn't give a fuck, I wouldn't say anything. I would just let you fucking fail and not say a word to you. You know? So Zay, listen, Zay, I have always been in your corner secretly because I always knew you had it in you. Exactly. And I knew you would be something great. And I just want you to do it, girl. And I want you to be back at the 2 p.m. because I think you deserve it.
You're going to make me cry, Xylee. Stop. You're going to make me cry.
Xylee, we need you back in the VC. We need you back in the VC, Xylee. Okay, we're going to give them back their show. It's very sweet.
We're going to give them their show. We are.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to leave.
Hey,
I just wanted...
No, Raph, shut up. I'll have the whole stream being Xylee talking. Fuck that.
I just wanted Zay to know that I have always appreciated her hard work. She went through her little I'm a bitch phase, okay? Everybody goes through I'm a bitch phase, okay?
It's okay.
But I knew deep down inside, Zay actually has a fucking heart And I knew she just needed to know the difference between when to be a bitch and when to show the heart. And Zay works hard at this, and I want Nerds to be so fucking successful. I want you to go back to the 2 p.m. bitch, because I think that you and Buff fucking deserve it, and you and Buff are like the
like being
ultimate
neighbors with you and Billy, though,
team.
Xylee. We
No,
like
and I
being
get that.
neighbors.
I get that. I do, but I think for some reason I feel like the 2 p.m. was your shit, bro. But either way, however y'all feel y'all want to do
We're
it.
open to everybody's advice. Like any of the
No,
hosts who
I
want to give
get
us
it.
criticism, because for real, we
Listen,
need opinions.
Before you take this, I want to say something. I joined in. Fucking Sweet Tea, you fucking bitch.
Yeah, I wanted to say
Is
that.
this
Hold on, no,
emotional?
stop, it's my show.
You
Hold on,
emotionally
wait, everybody.
manipulating little
Okay,
bitch. Fuck
real quick,
you.
I wanted to say this, because fuck you, Tech Protect, but I love you, because you got to it before I could. Sweet Tea, saying this is the emotional manipulation. I like you, but don't fuck with me. Don't fuck with Xylee, because look, Sweet Tea, we're still friends, but you gotta take this fucking advice.
I know.
No, Xylee, hold on, I got you.
My friends.
Xylee,
Do you
I
know
got you.
this bitch thought we were friends? I'm like, bitch, I've never even DM'd you. How in the fuck are we friends? Bitch, parasocial much? There's a reason why I don't do fucking DMs with everybody, okay? I only DM with real motherfuckers,
I got some
alright?
gutter.
And you ain't a real motherfucker, so you ain't getting a DM from me, bitch. What? With your one arm?
No. This is what kills me. Hold on, I got it. No. You went to Queens and Becky's training you. You got that aggression down. You cannot release it on everybody.
She
No.
suck my dick,
can't
bro.
Yeah,
I
suck
can't tell
Xylee's
people-
dick, Sweet Tea.
Yeah,
Fuck
suck
you.
her big
I will
fucking
say, as
purple
somebody
dick.
who's tried to come at Xylee before, okay, it is not an easy feat, and I don't recommend it. I really don't recommend it if you're new.
No.
You are trying to go to a final boss without doing all the side quests first.
That's
This
the
is not
thing.
good.
Sweet Tea, if you don't understand, let me okay, Sweet Tea, I hope you're watching. Let me
We got 5
explain
minutes left
something
of
to you. Okay, all right, 5 minutes, but don't worry, it won't take 5 minutes. Okay.
It will.
Okay. Listen,
I love
Sweet
you.
Tea, take this as a warning, okay? If you want to come at me, bitch, I have all the receipts. And if I have to hunt down all the fucking receipts on you, I will. I don't have a problem. And if I can't find them, my friends can find them. Because you know why? All we have to do is look up keywords that we said, because there's a great finder on like an app that.
You know, I'm saving it from myself. Okay, if she comes back, please move her back. Okay, for
Love your
for
ass
love of
off.
God.
Appreciate you.
Sweet Tea,
Out
We
here
love you,
saying
Xylee.
yeah.
We love you, Xylee.
We
Hey,
love you
Jesse,
so
the
much.
best of.
Okay,
Xylee, no,
last
go
song,
back.
booty.
Go back.
No,
Go
I'm
back.
gonna finish. I'm gonna
No,
finish.
Let
my
him
sentence.
finish. Shut up. Let him
All I'm
finish.
saying is, bitch, if you want to come for me, I'm the last bitch you want to come for, because I don't care what anybody says, but out of all the women in the LCU, I'm the motherfucking final boss, okay? So please motherfucking try to come for me, bitch. And just remember, if you try to come for me on shit on my channel, I hope you go for Keemstar too, because he was part of all of those motherfucking shits, okay? So please try to come for me, bitch. Remember, and I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna leave, okay? There's
He's
a
not
great
threatening you.
saying.
What the fuck are you talking about?
There's a great saying that I always say: check your lipstick before you.
All right, and so we're gonna end this up with nerds, right? Nerds will be the last segment of this video. Again, tech talk, there wasn't much. I don't know, because I'm recording it as tech talk is going. If there's something about if something does happen on tech talk, I'll cover it as own video. But really, I don't think there will be much. And Tess was whatever. Like, I was sort of awake when Tess was playing just a little bit, and I fell back asleep, woke up, and all right, nothing happened. I kind of skimmed through. Billy was there. It was whatever. I didn't even care. It wasn't like Nerds were. Nerds was covering a lot of the drama, given their own perspective, especially with the beans stuff with Zay, because Zay doesn't like beans, and I kind of do agree that like Bean really dropped the ball real hard. Also, I didn't realize this, I guess I didn't get the clip of this, maybe because like my brain skimmed it over, but apparently Jaffrey, I may do a video on the current man out, but Jaffrey redirected his viewership to Milker to help them out. And Beans apparently said, fuck off. And I was like, you don't do that. And I don't know why Beans did that. Maybe she thought I would fit the Milker role, but I don't even think that no. I don't even think Savage would do that, or even like any of the other female. It's just a little like, why? Why are you burning, like, you kind of unnecessarily burn the bridge? Maybe because you thought that he wasn't part of the network, you can do that, but it's like, no. It isn't like by your guys' logic, he ain't like the rest, so it was a very dumb move on your part. Again, maybe it was trying to be edgy or hardcore, but it made you look bad. Also, Xylee getting more drunk and more emotional, I won't lie, got on my nerves. Again, if you never dealt with a woman who get like this when they're drunk, Yeah, don't. Also, I guess before we move back onto that topic, apparently, Psychomon will be back on Milkers. So well, that'd be great to see. I'm not sure if she's gonna be with Pigtails and Roxy or what. We'll wait and see. We will wait and see. Because if Bean screwed that up real fast, damn, that is really bad. But also back to Xylee being drunk, because really most of Nerd was very much dominated by Xylee. Again, if you never dealt with a woman like this, if you have, you know my pain. You love them, but you know how annoying they can get and how insufferable. Right? I love my friend, but Xylee reminds me like her, and I'm like, no. I would have told her, like, and I mean, hell, even Rastov had to take her out because he was saying some offhand stuff about Sweet Tea, and I'm very neutral about Sweet Tea. I'm like, it's whatever. But it's like, yo, better stop, Xylee, because she will throw that in your face, and it makes you look pretty bad. But then again, Xylee has sycophants, so they'll take it as it is. It's it's nuts. It's a very nuts situation. And also the whole Paracelsa and like I only talk to reals. I'm like, it sounds like you only talk to your fans who agree with you, or they may disagree with you, but it's a very different degree. I don't know. I don't like when people say stuff like that. It's annoying. But this video has been going on for a lot longer. I hope you guys enjoy this format. If you guys don't like it like this, next week we'll go back to the separate video. But if you guys like a longer hour and a half recap of different stuff or the best stuff from the LCU, we'll stick on to this, right? Depending on the severity of the drama that goes on, they may get a separate video because some of them do deserve that. If not, we'll see what happens. Hopefully this works a little better than doing separate videos. But till then, have a good one, be safe, and as always, God bless.